The Dark Knight is widely considered to be the best movie in the comic book genre. Praise and credit have rightfully been given to the villain, especially the performance of the late Heath Ledger. The acting in general was great. The pace, the soundtrack, the writing and directing of the Nolan brothers. The list could go on and on. There probably isn't a way to fully articulate why The Dark Knight is so revered. Batman Begins took an iconic comic book character and made him and his world believable. Batman Begins brought Batman out of some foreign universe and made him a real person in a city that we see every day. We saw Bruce as a man, one searching for answers. We saw him develop Batman as a symbol in a way that made us believe it could happen in real life. The Dark Knight only enhanced this by taking Bruce out of Wayne Manor and placing him square in the center of Gotham. Another notable movie that made the superhero character believable was Iron Man. The writers of the first installment of the Marvel Universe built Iron Man similarly to how the Nolan brothers built Batman. This was essential to Marvel's success because Iron Man made the succeeding films credible. It made us buy into the universe in which these characters live. Both Iron Man and Batman Begins focus on the person wearing the suit as much as the symbol that suit represents. But neither Iron Man nor Batman Begins are typically considered on par with The Dark Knight, because both movies have story arcs that fit neatly within the comic book genre. The Dark Knight, on the other hand, was the first movie to prove that the comic book genre can sustain characters and story arcs that successfully transcend genre stereotypes. Make no mistake, The Dark Knight is a comic book movie. It just didn't limit itself to the typical comic book story arc. Usually, in a comic book movie, the hero triumphs by overcoming some kind of obstacle in a morally pure way, which in turn validates their identity as a hero. In Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises, Batman saves Gotham by stopping murdering psychopaths. Iron Man and friends save the day by stopping murdering psychopaths. Captain America beats the Red Skull and Hydra. Thor beats Loki. Superman beats Zod. Spider-Man, the Guardians, even the damn Suicide Squad all save the day by stopping some kind of villain from killing people or unleashing bad things upon the world. With few exceptions, every comic book movie that's ever been made falls under this basic arc. The Dark Knight is one of the few exceptions. In The Dark Knight, Bruce prevents chaos from being unleashed upon Gotham, but not by beating the Joker or by saving Gordon's family. Bruce does it with a lie, which challenges the typical conception of what a hero is, and seems to contradict Bruce's purpose for creating Batman. Bruce's purpose is to save the people of Gotham from criminality and corruption. In Batman Begins, Bruce told Alfred that symbols are needed to shake people from their apathy, because symbols can be incorruptible and everlasting. In Batman Begins, Bruce was even willing to sacrifice his family name for the good of the city. By the beginning of The Dark Knight, Batman has become the extension of Bruce Wayne's purpose as a human being, and consumes his life to the point where Bruce Wayne and Batman are nearly inseparable. Batman has become Bruce's soul, and the only way Bruce can separate himself from Batman is with the emergence of an even greater symbol, Harvey Dent. But the Joker turns that symbol into a hammer that, when exposed, would break the spirit of Gotham, causing the people to lose hope that a brighter day was near. The Joker had become an unstoppable force, the physical manifestation of chaos. And chaos seemed to be unavoidable until Bruce finally understood that he'd met an adversary that could not be defeated by Batman. In the contest between Batman and the Joker, Batman lost. In this moment, he understood the need to shake people from their fear. To do so, he needed to corrupt the very symbol he'd hoped would be everlasting. Bruce tricks the people with a lie, transforming their fear into a rage, which is then redirected at the very symbol that was meant to inspire. His one incorruptible symbol is corrupted. His identity as a hero is destroyed, which is even more traumatic because his childhood love had been murdered. In almost every way possible, Bruce has been broken. To shelter the people of Gotham from the truth, the immovable object takes a step in a different direction, one filled with moral ambiguity, which leaves the audience both in awe of Bruce's sacrifice and questioning if the lie is worth the risk. But the people of the city are not out of danger, and the audience is left to answer the question of whether the ends justify the means, a line offered by many antagonists. The events of Batman Begins saw Bruce slowly become a morally pure hero, but at the cost of the Wayne family name. The events of The Dark Knight broke the symbolism of Batman and showed Bruce that remaining morally pure is not as important as maintaining order. By the end of The Dark Knight, Batman has lost. Bruce has become morally ambiguous, and his identity as a hero has been shattered. With the exception of Watchmen, I can't think of another comic book movie that breaks the conventional story arc. Both Watchmen and The Dark Knight make the people responsible as the ultimate saviors, whereas all other comic book movies make the hero responsible for saving the people. If you can think of another comic book movie that does the same, please let me know in the comments. In closing, I just want to respond to those who say that the Joker was more of a focus throughout the movie than Batman. This is not the case. The Joker drives the plot, but the whole movie constantly builds to a fateful decision, one that needs to be made by Bruce. What are you willing to do for what you believe? The Joker constantly pummels Batman, trying to get him to give in and break his one rule. But Bruce refuses to give in. He refused to kill. Instead of succumbing to the Joker's twisted game, Bruce realized that the only way he could allow himself to break his one rule is if it was targeted towards himself. He has to kill the idea and symbolism of Batman so the symbolism of Harvey Dent can survive. By allowing Batman to become the villain in the minds of the people, Bruce re-emerges as the focal point of the story, making the sacrifice that turned him from a hero into something more: a Dark Knight.